understood it correctly. Everything is normal. Everything is within the normal range. Soyuz, this is Moscow. Roger, over. Soyuz, this is Stoop. We have a lot of noise, of some kind of noise in our communicom system. Soyuz, this is Moscow. Roger, over.
Saturn Launch Control. We're now at the 15-minute mark, T-minus 15 minutes, and holding. Hold just announced will be last for exactly 2 minutes, so we're continuing to look for a 3:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time liftoff. As we come out of this hole, the spacecraft will go to full internal power. Up to this point, it's been being supported by ground power as well as the fuel cells. Approximately T-minus 1 minute and 15 seconds in the count. Slayton will trip a couple of switches, which will bring the spacecraft batteries online, when they will be used then in addition to the fuel cells and as a backup. We're starting at this time chill down of the second stage start tanks and thrust chambers. They'll be receiving that super cold liquid hydrogen, so it's necessary to condition them for that. FT-23, a computer run to ensure the guidance data has been properly received in the guidance computer, has also been run. We're holding now at the T-minus 15-minute mark. Expect to be picking up our count again shortly. T-minus 15 and holding. This is Kennedy Launch Control.
for launch.
This is Apollo Saturn Launch Control. We passed the 10-minute mark in the countdown. We do have one more hold. That's for 5 minutes, 24 seconds duration, and that will come at the 4-minute mark. Let's stand by now and listen to the astronauts as they're finishing up their checks in the spacecraft.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Apollo Saturn Launch Control. We're T-minus 3 minutes, 52 seconds, and counting. Everything proceeding smoothly at this time. Launch Operations Manager Paul Donnelly checked in with the crew on the Astrocom launch circuit. Said, Apollo, this is the Launch Operations Manager. Tom, Deke, and Vance, the launch team wants you to know we saved the best till last. Good luck and Godspeed. And astronaut Stafford said, thank you all so much. Thanks for everything. Countdown continuing smoothly at this point. We'll be going on the automatic sequencer at the T-minus 3 minute 7 second mark. We're approaching that time at this point. Once we get on that automatic sequencer, all actions in the count will be handled automatically by the sequencer. Mark, T-minus 3 minutes, 7 seconds, and the launch sequence has started. Each sequence now must take place at the right time and in the proper sequence, or it would be automatically cut off. We would get an automatic cutoff in the countdown. That did occur once on Apollo 17, where we had a cutoff at the T-minus 30-second mark. T-minus 45 minutes and counting. T-minus 2 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. Everything continuing to move well. One of the first actions taken by the sequencer was terminating the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen propellant. We'll be pressurizing those tanks at this point. They're pressurized to ensure a smooth flow of fuel down to the engines during the powered phase of flight. The second stage LOX tank now has been pressurized, and the first stage fuel tank has been pressurized. We should have pressurization on all fuel tanks by the 30-second mark in the countdown. We're approaching the 2-minute mark at this point, approaching the 2-minute mark in our countdown. Everything's continuing to run smoothly. Mark, T-minus 2 minutes, T-minus 2 minutes and counting. Vents have come and closed now, tanks being pressurized. At 1 minute, 25 seconds, we'll look for a second stage fuel tank to be pressurized. We have a large status board here in the firing room which shows these events as they're taking place. First stage fuel tank now pressurized. T-minus 1 minute, 40 seconds. At the T-minus 1 minute, 15 second mark in the countdown, astronaut Deke Slayton will flip 2 switches in the spacecraft to bring the spacecraft batteries online. These batteries will give added electrical power and also are a backup to the fuel cells. At the 1 minute mark, the water will start pouring onto the flame deflector underneath the pad, and at 30 seconds we'll get water on the mobile launcher deck itself. Deke now has brought those batteries online. T-minus 1 minute, 6 seconds. The last action performed by the crew will be at T-minus 45 seconds, and at that time, Tom Stafford will make a final guidance alignment. T-minus 55 seconds. We'll be getting switched to internal power shortly. All of the tanks now pressurized, and we're switching to internal power. Stafford reports he has made the final GDC align. First stage, second stage, and instrument unit now on internal power. Approaching the 30-second mark in our countdown, water pouring onto the flame deflector, now coming onto the deck of the mobile launcher. Everything proceeding smoothly. We'll get a guidance release at the 17-second mark.
20 seconds.
The engines will actually start. The engine sequence starts at 3.1 seconds in the countdown. We'll hold down till thrust builds up.
11.
Engine ready light on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Engine sequence start. 1, 0. Launch commit. We have a liftoff. All engines building up thrust. Moving out. Clear the tower.
Roger, tower clear. Roger, Tom, you got good thrust on all engines. You're right on the money. Roger, I got a roll program. Started not much. Roger, Tom. Roger. Yeah, she goes pitch program. Little shaky lift off, but it's smooth as silk now. Okay.
Saturn launch vehicle beginning a 45-second maneuver to the proper roll. Trajectory looking good.
30 seconds, we're on the way. Roger, Tom, you're looking real fine.
Coming up on 1 minute, we're clear of the beach.
Roger.
Apollo now 3 miles in altitude, 1 mile downrange.
Stand by for mode 1 Bravo. Mark, 1 Bravo. 1 Bravo, 2 G's. Roger. Cabin pressure's coming down. Roger.
Cabin pressure relieving as expected and coming up on the region of maximum dynamic pressure. And we're through max Q. Everything's still looking good.
Send your feet wet, on your way. Roger, feet wet.
Minute 30 seconds, still looking good. 6 miles downrange.
Roger. EDF auto off. It'll be wait for. An SMRCS A light on. Roger. Apollo Houston, you're mode 1 Charlie. Yeah, Ranger 1 Charlie, Dick. That's firm.
And Pete Frank getting a status for staging.
0 plus 00.
Go for staging.
381.
Go for staging.
Liftoff time 19 plus 50 plus 00 decimal 381.
And we have a report that we are losing some data here in the control center. We've lost data from the command module computer. Trajectory still looking good.
Roger, Tom. Okay, and the light is out on the 4B. Roger. We got acceleration. Roger. Apollo Houston, we've had a PU shift and thrust is up on S4B, looking real fine, right on the money. Roger, Dick.
Capcom Dick Truly advising the crew that everything looks good on the Saturn second stage.
Tower Jeff, there she goes. Roger, Tower Jetson, your most...
And the launch tower no longer needed, has been jettisoned as planned.
Okay, we got the runner on the water. Guidance is initiated. Roger, confirm.
50 miles in altitude now, 80 miles downrange. Guidance looks very good at this point. The command module computer data is intermittent now and everything looks good. Three minutes, 30 seconds now, 108 miles downrange, 59 miles in altitude.
330 onboard trajectory looks good there. Roger, Tom, concur. You're looking real good. Roger. And Tom, be advised, we have been dropping out CMC data a little bit here in the ground, but the CMC is go. You're fine.
Look at that. AOS, S4B,
Booster says everything's going very well. A velocity building up to 9,000 feet per second now. About 30% of that required for minimum orbit.
Caution warning on SMRCSA anymore. Roger that. AOS video. I copied that. Thank you. Houston, coming up on 4.5 minutes, your go, and Vance, we think that was a package temp that was low. It's come up within tolerance now, and you're looking fine.
That's right, there were.
430 back to 1G acceleration, looking good. Roger.
Apollo now approaching 200 miles downrange, 76 miles in altitude. Everything looks very good trajectory-wise. And we have about 5 minutes remaining in this burn on the second stage.
Oh, Houston, at 5 minutes, your go. Roger, 5 minutes, looks good on board, Nick. And we got the beautiful sight. Roger. Wish I could see it. Roger. Yeah, Lieutenant, this is worth waiting 16 years for. You got a beautiful believe here, Dick. Roger. I believe all of that.
83 miles in altitude now. 280 miles downrange, trajectory very good.
Okay, 530, onboard trajectory looks beautiful. Roger, concur, Tom. You're right on the money.
5 minutes, 45 seconds. Flight Director Pete Frank getting another status report around the room, and everything looking good.
Houston, you're right on at 6 minutes.
We'll get you to second.
Roger.
3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in this burn. The launch vehicle continuing to pitch over and pick up speed rapidly. 13,000 feet per second is the current velocity.
Okay, Deke, thank you.
Up on 7 minutes. Booster says we look just fine.
Oh, Houston, at 7 minutes, your go, and we're standing by to watch the gimbal command.
Roger, Bermuda.
Pitch one on, mark it. That's a good one. Yaw one on, mark it. That's good. Pitch two on, mark. Yaw two on, mark it. Both good. Houston, you got four good gimbal motors.
Go with your nominals that Goddard sent out. We will not be able to send you an IRV for this time.
Capcom Dick Truly advising the crew they've got 4 good gimbal motors on the SPS system.
Like a preview shift, Houston. Exactly, 749. Roger, Tom. And Apollo Houston, you go at 8 minutes, and you're right, that was PU's shift, and the thrust is go. You're right on. Roger, everything looks good on board.
The Saturn vehicle shifting its mixture ratio for maximum utilization of propellants. And Flight Director Pete Frank getting the advisory that we look right on. Everything looks good. Coming up on 8 minutes, 30 seconds, and still looking good.
8:30, your trajectory looks good on board. Roger, concur, Tom. You go.
.30 miles downrange, 86 miles in altitude, targeted for an orbit of 93 by 104. And coming up on 9 minutes now, looking very good.
Apollo's go. Roger, at 9 minutes, your go. Roger.
Predicted cutoff in about 40 seconds.
No, we're predicting a guided cutoff at 9 plus 46. Roger, 9 plus 46. Stand by by for mode 3 Alpha. Roger. Mark, mode 3 Alpha. Roger, 3 Alpha.
Soviet is unable to man UHF. Power go home.
Standing by for shutdown.
Stand by for mode 4 capability. Roger. Mark, mode 4 capability. Roger.
Sicko!
Roger.
And we're right in there. We is here. Okay, VI 25649, each drop minus 4, altitude 83.2.
Okay, Vance, thank you.
We're, according to the computer, in an 89.4 by 83.1.
Okay, thanks, Vance. We'll check it ourselves.
We have had the privilege of having in the viewing room with us today two very distinguished guests, and they would like to make a few remarks. First, I'd like to introduce our big boss, the administrator of NASA, Dr. James Fletcher.
Needless to say, that was an absolutely fabulous launch by an absolutely fabulous team. And let me congratulate you all before I say anything further. You probably know as well as I do that you're making history today. And this is the first step on a long mission, but also on, I think, a long program with the Soviet Union. Congratulations all for a job extremely well done. I'm probably a lot more excited than you are, but anyway, it was fabulous. Thank you.
And now I'm particularly honored to present a very special guest for this mission, the ambassador from the Soviet Union, Mr. Dobrina.
Well done.
We look good all the way around.
This is really what I mean. Before I have a chance to be in your process, not exactly in yours, but in aviation business. And my heart is with you, doing this very nice job. I should say that without your magnificent performance here in our Russian control center, the whole project would be impossible. We're looking forward for further cooperation, and I wish all of you gathering here and all the supporting crews outside this building, especially our friends astronauts who are now high, I guess, 160 kilometers. The very best. Love them for good, smooth, link up, second, and I could tell that now Russian cosmonauts are preparing already warming up the dinner for your astronauts.
Now for a short pass supermetry.
Well done, and thank you very much. The best wishes to all of you, and of course to both of our teams which are there up in the cosmos. Thank you very much.
Gone around the room and looked at all the data we get here in the launch base, and you're looking real fine. Should be.
I would like to add just a word from my point of view. We've just seen another truly professional performance from a great team. All good things must come to an end, and it seems like this is an appropriate time for the Saturn launch program to end. And it's being done with a particularly important mission. A few of you have received specific individual recognition for your part in this program. Most of you have not, and that's the way it is with a large team. But all of you can take with you the self-esteem, perhaps the greatest reward of all, from the fact that you've been a member of a team that's made a fantastic contribution to our country. And now as you go your separate ways over these next few weeks, I'd like to thank all of you and wish you the best in your future ventures. Godspeed to you all.
This is Apollo Control at 53 minutes. Apollo now coming up on acquisition through the Apollo range instrumented aircraft, an Araya aircraft on station south of Australia. And we'll have communications, we expect, through that tracking aircraft. Over the Araya, during contact through Araya, Capcom Dick Truly will be discussing with the crew a telemetry indication that we got post-launch that indicates there may be a small bubble in the propellant supply module. This is an auxiliary propellant supply for the reaction control system engines, normally brought online at 1 hour 44 minutes. And Truly will be advising the crew to defer bringing that online if in fact further checks show that there is a bubble in the supply line, a helium bubble. The supply module would simply be purged, forcing the propellants and the bubble out through the RCS engines. The concern about having a bubble, if in fact there is a helium bubble in there, is that in a critical burn, as the bubble entered the RCS reaction control system engines, there would be a loss of thrust and a critical burn where timing is of the essence could be affected. So before that module is used, if it is determined that in fact we do have a helium bubble in the manifold, it would be purged.
Okay, and we'll be standing by.
We have a completed flight of 3-4, 5, 6.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control. We had very poor communications through the Vanguard, or rather through the Araya. We'll be coming up on Vanguard.
Houston, we're 1 minute from LOS Araya. I'll give you a call at the Vanguard at 1 hour and 12 minutes.
And Capcom Dick Truly advising the crew that we'll be giving them a call at 1 hour 12 minutes. We're now at 1 hour 45 seconds, so the call will come in about 12 minutes from now. Immediately following the Vanguard pass at approximately 5:05 Eastern Daylight Time, we expect to begin the post-launch press conference at the Kennedy Space Center.
July 1975. 1 minute ago, the Soyuz spacecraft has completed its 6th orbit around the Earth. At the present time, according to the flight program, the crew of the spacecraft has to be finishing up its monitoring of the operation of the onboard system and now getting ready to the next communication session via the Yuri Gagarin tracking ship. Now we will have the program of the flight for the 7th orbit. After completing the monitoring of onboard systems of the spacecraft, the cosmonauts will communicate with the MCC Moscow and will report on their medical condition. After the end of the communication session, the cosmonauts will have supper. After supper, they will perform their final operations on the final dumping of pressure and monitor the orientation of the spacecraft. The spacecraft is now oriented towards the sun. Before the communication session with the Moscow Mission Control, 13 minutes remain. This is Moscow Mission Control Center.
Apollo Control at 1 hour 12 minutes, coming up on acquisition through the tracking ship Vanguard.
Roger, Vanguard.
And we have acquisition of signal through Vanguard.
Vanguard, we have FM carrier.
There you go, FM carrier. No matter what.
Vanguard, call for command, USB.
Roger, Vanguard.
Vanguard for 6 minutes.
Okay, we're in United States.
Vanguard, receiving TV.
and 2 minutes, 6% up.
Vanguard, FM carrier, negative 9. Okay, Tom, super. And Deke, reminder on the TV camera, we don't have any way of monitoring it on the VTR, so when you get turned around and get a monitor picture, you might select the f-stop as required and also peak instead of average if that's required.
Okay, we're looking at the monitor now, but of course I don't see much in it.
Roger, understand.
that spacecraft is in attitude and ready to do transposition and docking. Leading us to believe that the Apollo has separated a little bit early from the S4B and is in position now, having turned around 180 degrees to move in and dock with the docking module and extract the docking module from the S4B Saturn second stage.
This is Apollo Control. 1 hour and 36 minutes into the flight of Apollo. Now in an orbit measuring 92.4
Roger, what's your command?
83.1 nautical miles. We're expecting acquisition of Apollo through the Rosman station. We're starting to get some data through Rosman. We'll stand by for this pass.
Houston at Rosman for a real short pass, about 1 minute. How do you read?
Roger, got a good hard dock, looks real lined up, and all the latches are good.
Okay, super, Tom. This pass is real short, so I won't bug you now. There are 2 or 3 things that we want to get from you, like the P-52 data and the EMS Delta V results, but I can pick them up at Newfoundland, and that's coming up at about 1 hour and 42 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we're kind of busy now. We'll pick it up there, Dick.
Okay, no problem.
A couple quickies you can look at, Dick. We're running high on suit temp here, a little over 70 degrees, and also the glycol evap on the secondary loop is off scale high, should be below 60.
Okay, Deke, we don't have data here, but we will be looking at those. I've got a couple of parameters I'm going to need to read out from you on also.
Okay.
See y'all later. Apollo Houston, Newfoundland for 6 minutes.
Page 4-5 of the launch checklist, connection, Francis connection of the umbilicals.
Roger, Tom, how do you read me?
Clear.
Okay, be advised, we're going to be sending one of our normal commands here to the booster to enable the extraction maneuver to occur per the nominal flight plan.
And for your trajectory people, we each have the valve recognized and trail down below us and out in front of us.
Apollo Houston, Tom, you're fading in and out, and I'm only getting about half your conversation.
I'll call you.
Okay.
Houston, right now in the middle of this checklist, Dick's power is off, his time power is off, but also it looks like Vance's headset went out, but we'll call you on that later, over.
Okay, Tom, copy. And Tom, that transmission I heard loud and clear.
Okay.
Apollo Houston, we still have about 3 minutes here at Newfoundland. If somebody has time to read me the P-52 data and launch checklist, that's fine. Otherwise, we can pick it up at Madrid.
Okay, ready, Dick?
Yeah, go ahead, Dick.
Ready, star 27 and star 43. All balls, minus 36, minus 1, plus 137. And we start 35 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, Dick, copy. Thank you very much.
And Dick, CP here, we found out why I lost COM when I took the tunnel hatch number 1 out. Why we dragged it through the tunnel and it turned off my headset switch here on panel 98.
Okay, Vance, read you loud and clear now. One more thing. thing, we've lost a couple of TM parameters. If somebody's up around panel 2 or 3 and you could read us two points, we'd appreciate it.
Takeoff available.
Okay, we need O2 tank 1 quantity.
Quantity is reading 0.
Okay, we're reading off scale low. Also, we don't think we have a problem there, but it's TM. Also, we need quad alpha helium tank temperature.
Get 3-0 also.
Okay, and the same thing applies to that one.
Roger, thank you.
Apollo Houston, we're 1 minute to LOS. I'll give you a call at Madrid at an hour and 51 minutes.
151.
Apollo Houston, Madrid for 3.5 minutes.
Okay, Dick. And it's worth noting on those gauge discrepancies that they were reading okay when we went through our systems check, so those things have dropped to 0 here quite recently.
Okay, we copy, and we'll be taking a look at that. Deke, we do think that both the primary and secondary loops are working okay, and it'll be running a little warm for a little while, but we think it'll be doing fine. One thing we wanted to get from you was the results of the EMS Delta V test that you ran.
Okay, EMS Delta V test was perfect. That was minus 10.5.
Okay, copy, and incidentally, a couple of things on the flight plan. We'll be getting the GDC IMU comparison results down at the Vanguard, and also down at the Vanguard at about 2 hours and 44 minutes or so. We plan on delaying the PSM activation until tomorrow. The reason is because of the switch manipulations that we went through on the pad. We think we probably have a little helium bubble in that line, and by doing it tomorrow, we'll have the evening to think about what the best way to get it out. We may be able to get it out without doing an extra purge burn. In any case, it's no problem.
Right. And Dick, we have the umbilicals connected to the DM and the hatches back in again, and all latches were good.
Okay, Ben. Thank you. Houston, we're about a minute from LOS. We'll see you at Ara at 2 plus 27, and when we got a little minute here, we can't help but ask you how Vance and Deke are both liking the 0G.
Super, man. Can't believe it. Really savoring every event up here, Dick. It's really great.
Sounds like fun. Wish I was there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you one thing is these TV cameras don't work any better than 0G.
Roger.
This is Apollo Control. 1 hour 56 minutes into the flight of Apollo, and 9 hours 26 minutes since launch of Soyuz. We've had loss of signal through a succession of stations, Rossman, Newfoundland, and Madrid across the States and Europe. Our next voice contact with Apollo will be in approximately 31 minutes through an aircraft over the Indian Ocean. We'll return at that time, all apparently going well aboard Apollo. Tom Stafford reporting that all latches were locked solidly after a good hard docking with the docking module. Extraction is scheduled to take place during the pass above the Araya aircraft, the instrumented aircraft in the Indian Ocean. We'll return at that time. 30 minutes to acquisition according to the next station contact table. This is Apollo Control at 1 hour 58 minute Apollo ground elapsed time.
Must be finishing their dinner. After having finished dinner, they have various of the things that they have selected for their supper. After they finish their supper, they will start preparing to their solar orientation of the spacecraft and then maneuver after that. And this operation will start in a few minutes as soon as the spacecraft is out of the shadow. This is Moscow Space Center.
I'm out of the shadow, Earth shadow, and now presently is stationed over the equator of the Pacific Ocean. Over the area called
Yes, sir. In answer to your query concerning your last video pass, you can assign that as a 1-3.
The crew is preparing to maneuver manually and will perform a rotation maneuver which will come about the end of the 7th orbit. Based on the data given via telemetric means, the pressure in the descent vehicle is 535.9 millimeters of mercury. In the orbital module, it's 540 and 2/10 millimeters. The temperature of the air in the descent vehicle is 15.45 Celsius, and the orbital module is 20.2 degrees Celsius. The regular seance communication will take place in 34 minutes through the Yuri Gagarin tracking ship. This is Moscow MCC out.
Roger, looks good.
This is Apollo Control, 2 hours 25 minutes into the flight of Apollo. 9 hours 55 minutes since Soyuz launched this morning. And we're less than a minute away from acquisition through an aircraft, a relay aircraft over the Indian Ocean. And further communications with the Apollo spacecraft. Some heart rates for the Apollo crew during launch. Tom Stafford had a high of 130 and a low of 55. Command module pilot Vance Brand had a high of 114 and a low of 60. Docking module pilot Deke Slayton had a high of 123 and a low of 60. We should have acquisition momentarily for the next 5 minutes through the relay aircraft. Standing by.
Apollo Houston through the Rye. How do you read? Roger, again, the comm here is pretty poor, so we're just standing by. Apollo Houston, we're 30 seconds from LOS arrive. Vanguard at 2 plus 43.
This is Apollo Control. Loss of signal through the Araya relay aircraft, voice relay in the Indian Ocean. 4 minutes away from reacquisition through tracking ship Vanguard for the final time this afternoon of spacecraft Apollo. We're estimating the first Apollo change of shift briefing with Flight Director Pete Frank for 7:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The change of shift briefings for this mission will all be in the main auditorium at Johnson Space Center. As we get nearer to the shift handover, we'll refine this estimate of the time of the change of shift briefing. We'll leave the circuit up for the next 3 minutes for the acquisition through tracking ship Vanguard. At 2 hours 40 minutes, Apollo ground elapsed time. Apollo control.
Apollo Houston, Vanguard for 5 minutes.
Roger.
Okay, Houston, Apollo, extraction was nominal. Super, Tom. Sounds real good, and if somebody... Apollo Houston, you still there?
KSM, no go to the
Roger, Vanguard. Go ahead, Dick.
Roger, Vanguard.
Tom, if somebody has a chance during this pass, I'd like to get the BMAG GDC IMU comparison results. Okay, and as I said before, we're not going to do the PSM activation here. We'll pick it up later. Okay, you want to go with the BMAG? Okay, I'm standing by to copy. Okay, now 20 is 35986 01648 35815. That's negative. Excuse me, Deke. We had some extra
Vanguard
noise
network.
on the line, and I copied the roll pitching y'all, but
You have a problem
they've
staying
now
locked
20,
up
but
on
nothing else.
CSM?
Go ahead. GDC is 0016.
We get noise bursts in the air ground down there.
3590.
That's negative. Network. We have AOS
Roger. Sounds good, and I'm assuming that was BMAG 2. Is that right?
Carrier, negative 84. What's up here?
Okay.
Vanguard has AOS, don't modulate.
Apollo Houston, we're about 1 minute from LOS. Goldstone comes up at 3 hours and 1 minute. See you there. Okay.
This is Apollo control.
Vanguard has
Also
LOS.
signal through tracking ship Vanguard in the South Central Pacific. Next station to pick up Apollo will be tracking station at Goldstone near Barstow, California in the Mojave Desert. Almost directly overhead of Goldstone, 89.5 degrees, and you can't hardly get more straight up than that. We have 2 telegrams that were exchanged between the director of, or acting president of the USSR Academy of Sciences, academician V.A. Kotelnikov, and Dr. James Fletcher, the administrator of NASA. The telegram from Dr. Fletcher to Kotelnikov reads as follows. Congratulations to the USSR launch team for the successful launch of the spacecraft Soyuz. Our best wishes to cosmonauts Leonov and Kubasov on behalf of all of NASA. And it's signed by Dr. Fletcher and his deputy, George M. Lowe. The telegram from Kotelnikov to Fletcher reads as follows. In the name of the USSR Academy of Sciences, we congratulate you on the successful launch of the spacecraft Apollo and the beginning of the joint ASTP flight. Respectfully, Academician V.A. Kotelnikov, Acting President, USSR Academy of Sciences. Academician B.N. Petrov and everyone at the Intercosmos Council join me in this sentiment. Tom Stafford, during this pass over Vanguard, reported that they had a nominal extraction of the docking module from the truss that contained it and restrained it in the spacecraft adapter.
Vanguard, take your video.
After the panels had separated, did it turnaround, docked with the successfully hard docked, all latches mated, and as reported over Vanguard, the docking module was extracted from its hangar. To repeat an earlier notification, we're estimating 7:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for the change of shift briefing in the JSC main auditorium where the off-going flight director, Pete Frank, currently Apollo
the IU track
is in an orbit measuring 92.4 by 83.1 nautical miles with an orbital period of 87 minutes 39 seconds. Orbital velocity 25,656 feet per second. We'll return in 9 minutes for Goldstone. This is Apollo Control, 2 hours 51 minutes after Apollo launch.
Soyuz, this is Moscow. Soyuz, this is Moscow. Moscow, this is Soyuz. I read you well. Soyuz, this is Moscow. Listen carefully. It's ultimately necessary for you to carry out these operations by using the television equipment. This equipment is found in the lower storage compartment. In the box number 8, below on the right. To do this, you're going to have to call out through the control panel.
Stand by for Apollo announcement in 1 minute.
Box number 8. Do you understand what I mean? Yes, yes. Take a pencil and write this down.
Yeah, we'll contact.
This is Apollo Control.
Okay.
2 hours 59 minutes, as you were 3 hours into the flight of Apollo. And acquisition in about 40 seconds through tracking station Goldstone. Pass directly across the Goldstone station at the zenith, 89.5 degrees. Maximum duration. Goldstone, next station beyond that is the voice relay through Newfoundland. And we'll stay up across Goldstone, Newfoundland, and Madrid. This is Apollo Control, standing by.
Apollo Houston, Goldstone for 5 minutes. We've maneuvered to ACM nominal latitude. Okay, Tom, and if you'll give us accept, we'll give you a good state vector, and I've got a preliminary ACM pad when you're ready. Copy. Okay, you got accept. Okay, and I understand you are ready to copy the preliminary pad, Tom? Give us about 10 seconds. Oh, okay. Tell me when you're ready. No hurry. We got about 5 minutes here. Okay, starting with now 33. 003 41 0159er. Plus 0181. Plus 4 balls. Plus 0002. 17 9er 3. 001 0058 0001 06 123. The weight 32879er. Trims plus 080 minus 052. Go ahead. 193 001. 0058 0001. 06 123 32879. Pitch trim plus 080. Yaw trim minus 050. Over.
Roger, Tom. That's a good read back, and you'll notice on there that the Delta VC tail-off is not 13.0, and that's because on this short burn, for this particular short burn, there was just no way that we could set it up to come out that way, but that number's correct. Okay, see you later. Apollo Houston, Newfoundland for 6 minutes.
Oral valve track,
And Apollo, be advised, we do not have an update for the backup EDC aligned pad and the star acquisition pad today. And also, I've got some different high gain angles if you have maneuvers to the preliminary pad attitude for ATM. Okay, these are good for the attitude for the preliminary pad. Pitch minus 78, yaw 147.
Roger, pitch minus 78, yaw 147.
Roger, and naturally I'm talking to you on VHF at Newfoundland, and I'll talk to you on S-band when we get locked up.
I'll maneuver to left your attitude.
Okay.
For your information, Dick, when we powered up that hatch, we got redness background noise, and it seems to stay there.
Roger, Dick.
Roger.